Well, lo and behold, we're finally here. Less than 24 hours away from the Tar Heels opening up regional semifinal play against Ohio University here in St. Louis. Well, the waiting is indeed the hardest part. The battle for Carolina bragging rights was supposed to come to an end tonight in Chapel Hill, but Mother Nature had other ideas. Now the Tar Heels and Gamecocks will decide matters Tuesday at noon. Mike, I got to be honest with you, the Rodney Dangerfield routine doesn't really fit too well with the Tar Heels, at least in my opinion, but alas, that's what Marcus Page is going with. Now, that's going to do it for now, but that Marcus Page guy, he may appear a little bit later on in the program. That's what we call a tease in the business. But for now, reporting live outside of PNC Arena in Raleigh, Ryan Welch, Time Warner Cable News. Of course, we've all known about the NCAA investigation that's lasted for more than a year. Academic wrongdoing, players accepting improper benefits, and those players were severely punished last year. Miami, they shot the ball very well. They shot the ball very well in UNC Asheville, as you would imagine in the opener. So with the exception of that Kansas game, they have been lights out inside the arc, beyond the arc, you name it. So they are a confident bunch, and why not? And as we said, Jay Wright has done a tremendous job in leading this program year in and year out. This has been their bugaboo, the fact that they cannot get over the hump in the NCAA tournament. Well, they did it in 09, getting to the Final Four, and here they are knocking at the door again. Now coming up on the program, North Carolina makes a big statement at Kenan Stadium. We'll have comprehensive coverage from Chapel Hill. The red-hot Duke Blue Devils keep on rolling. We'll show you how they demolished Virginia, plus we'll hear from the victors, and we'll talk some golf, soccer, and more, but we start on the gridiron with a huge opportunity for the Wolfpack. Good evening to you, Mike. We're here live at Pinehurst, site of the Women's U.S. Open Championship, which tees off bright and early Thursday. But on Tuesday, more practice rounds with some big names. There are plenty of statistics when it comes to the Final Four, and sometimes it can be a little overwhelming keeping track of them all. But one thing is clear. If Villanova shoots anywhere near the way it did against Oklahoma, 71%, the trophy is likely the Wildcats. However, for the Tar Heels, the magic number for them could be 50, as in 50% shooting from the floor. When the Tar Heels do that, they're 22-1 on the season. With the Tar Heels at the Final Four, Ryan Welch, Time Warner Cable News. A former Tar Heel will be living out his dream starting tonight. Colin Moran, UNC's stellar hitting third baseman the past 3 years, will make his professional debut tonight for the Greensboro Grasshoppers. Moran started all 71 games a year ago for the Heels, hitting .345 with 13 homers and 91 RBIs. The ACC's Player of the Year was a key cog in Carolina making it to the College World Series. Now, he was the 6th overall draft pick by the Marlins, and this is a night he'll never forget.
From where I went to school, so pretty familiar with the area.
Well, speaking of Tar Heels shining on the mound, how about Matt Harvey's performance in last night's Major League All-Star game? Everyone's talking about when he drilled Robinson Cano, but beyond that, the Mets ace and former Tar Heel struck out 3 in 2 innings of work in the National League's 3-0 loss to the AL.
Something I'm very thankful for.
Well, some tough news for one of the NFL's top kickers who calls North Carolina home. Wilmington native and former Tar Heel Connor Barth will miss the upcoming season after tearing his Achilles tendon during this charity basketball game last Friday in the Port City. Barth recently signed a 4-year, $13.2 million deal with Tampa Bay and drilled the franchise record 84% of his kicks the past 4 seasons. The Bucs have signed 2-time Super Bowl champ Lawrence Tynes to replace Barth. While development camp continues for the Carolina Hurricanes, day 1 was Tuesday, meaning it was a chance for up-and-comers like Ryan Murphy and Elias Lindholm to shine in front of coaches and management.
Help me get to the next level.
That's an update. We'll have additional baseball reaction, plus talk some golf and soccer on Sports Night at 10. Hey, Mike, how you doing? I just wanted to make you sweat it out a little bit longer tonight. But anyway, it was a classic indeed. The network said no to this one tonight, but NC State and Wake Forest, they wanted no part of playing second fiddle to Duke and Carolina on this night in the 228th meeting between the Demon Deacons and the Wolfpack. It was a classic matchup from the opening tip until the final buzzer. A lot of subplots coming into this one. For Wake Forest, how much would the point guard advantage, you would think, with Jeff Teague, how much of an advantage would it be against NC State, a team that is really searching for an identity at that position with Javi Gonzalez and Farrell DeGan? Well, as it turned out, it would be NC State with the advantage in this one. For NC State, the Wolfpack coming off a very difficult loss at Virginia Tech. In Blacksburg, an 18-point second-half lead. The Pack could not hold on to it. But could they rebound tonight? We'll show you how things went here at the RBC Center. Good evening to you, Mike. We're here live at Pinehurst, site of the Women's U.S. Open Championship, which tees off bright and early Thursday. But on Tuesday, more practice rounds with some big names. one of the players out there on the course. And those hydration stations will certainly come in handy. Temperatures have been skyrocketing, and it might even get worse as the week progresses. Now, we just heard from Michelle Wie. If you know anything about golf, you know about Michelle Wie. She's one of the top players on the LPGA Tour, and she garners a lot of attention. But she's not the only player in the field garnering a lot of attention. With that, we're going to bring in my colleague, Andy Madison, with that story.
Well, that's Ryan. That's right, Ryan.
Pinehurst Gremlins, Mike. That's the only explanation, those Pinehurst Gremlins on the payroll. But hopefully we have resolved that situation. Our apologies again. As you mentioned, all eyes on the golfing world these 2 weeks. The Men's U.S. Open Championship last week, the women taking center stage this Thursday. So with all eyes on this, we're going to bring back our own Andy Madison, who has reaction from a former champ on the men's side.
That's right, Andy. It's going to be hot out here for these ladies when they tee off on Thursday.
Hydration stations, that's a big thing. The USGA, again, tip of the cap to them. They're going to have free water bottles, too, if you have tickets to the event. So it is temperatures in the high 90s. Certainly a good call by the USGA. And it's good to hear from Andy North, the former male champ. All right, Wednesday, more practice rounds, as well as more interviews. Paula Creamer, the 2010 U.S. Open champ, will take part, as well as Inbee Park, among others. But for now, reporting live from Pinehurst, Ryan Welch, Time Warner Cable News.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much.
Well, Mike, that is another major talking point here at Pinehurst. Just how would number 2 hold up after a grueling stretch of golf? The men tore it up last week. So what do the women think of the conditions so far?
There were no divots.
Figure out how to hit those shots.
And you just heard from Stacy Lewis talking about not a lot of divots, some on one. But again, what the USGA had in mind was they wanted both the men and women hitting the same clubs into the holes. So if a man hits an 8-iron about 200 yards and a woman hits it about 150, there wouldn't be any divots in the second week of play. So that's basically what's happened here. A lot of rave reviews about how Pinehurst looks. Now keep in mind, when the women are preparing for a U.S. Women's Open, they usually have a pristine course. This is so unique. It's the second week of a grueling stretch, as we talked about. But come on, this is Pinehurst. It's always in immaculate condition, and it's no different this year. Reporting live from Pinehurst, Ryan Welch, Time Warner Cable News.
It takes a special kind of person to be willing to fly up in the air and actually to desire it.
And that desire has paid off in spades for Ian West. The senior at Fike High School just won't settle. He's a 4-time state pole vault champion in Class 3A, and he's cleared 16 feet.
Everything he does is to the best of his ability. We'll keep him there, but we might have to move him back.
Sonny West is the track and field coach at Fike and Ian's dad. A collegiate vaulter himself, Sonny marvels at his son's drive to succeed.
The biggest problem with Ian is you can't tell him that was a good jump. He always wants feedback so he can work on the next jump.
And that drive will take Ian to Harvard University, where he'll vault for the Crimson.
That's something a rural North Carolinian can't often say, and really, and there's extremely intelligent people here. It's almost it's almost mentally you don't have it in the cards.
It's in the cards for Ian because he soars to incredible heights in the classroom as well.
He's tenacious, very much so. He is very dedicated.
Danny Gullett taught Ian for 3 years. So she's seen up close the competitor who has earned a weighted GPA north of 5.
When I was teaching AP Calculus, if I was in the middle of a lesson, he would stop me and say, "I didn't get that. Could you re-explain it?" Or he would even get out of his seat and come up there and grab the expo marker and start writing, "Is this what you meant? Did I do this right?"
In addition to his exploits in the pit, West was a star linebacker, then safety on the football team, helping the program's resurgence.
We went from a team that had won 2 games my sophomore year, just 2 games all season, to a team that lost 2 games all season. That takes a lot.
He walks among some impressive peers at Fike High School, but Ian West has created his own path in his 4 years.
If you give anything less than 110% all the time, you're just throwing away the potential that you have. And I don't see any reason to do that.
Well, Ian West, because of all your diligence inside the classroom in pole vaulting, the gridiron, student government, and your bright future at Harvard, You're our Time Warner Cable News Scholar Athlete of the Week. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, sir. It's truly an honor.
After a defensive meltdown killed them last Saturday in Coral Gables, NC State knew they had to get their game in order with Florida State coming to town. Wolfpack coming into a packed house at Carter Finley, hoping to pull off the upset against the number 3 ranked Seminoles. FSU showing off the top-ranked defense early on. Telvin Smith blows up this screen pass to Tony Creasy. The Seminole offense would get the running game going behind the legs of Chris Thompson. Breaks off this nice gain into Wolfpack territory. And it's E.J. Manuel going for it, 3rd and long. The pass would be behind Kelvin Benjamin, forcing the Seminoles to settle for a field goal. Dustin Hopkins comes in, nails this 49-yarder, which gives FSU the early 3-zip lead. The Wolfpack defense made some big plays early on. Sterling Lucas blindsiding Manuel for the sack. That would force the Noles into another 3rd and long, and Manuel goes over the middle, and he finds Rashad Green for the huge first down just before the end of the first quarter. And less than 2 minutes into the second, it's Manuel. Play action hits Nick O'Leary, coming right at you for the touchdown. Manuel 11-15 for 117 yards and 1 touchdown in the first half. Seminoles extend their lead to 10-zip. Meanwhile, Seminole defense continuing to dominate. Terrence Brooks picks off this Mike Glennon pass just like that. FSU right back in business. That's when Manuel would hand it off to Thompson again. Breaks off a long scamper all the way inside the Wolfpack 10. Thompson with 122 first half yards on the ground. State would hold the Seminoles, however. Manuel tries to escape the pocket and zing one to Green, but Dante Johnson there to break it up. FSU settles for another field goal. This is rarefied air for NC State's softball program.
I don't think we could send
Back-to-back appearances in the NCAA tournament.
I think we got a pretty good draw. The teams we're facing are definitely beatable.
Back to Wyman.
In 2013, State earned the ACC's automatic bid by winning the conference tournament. This season, the Pack may be backing in a bit after losing to Carolina in the ACC tourney.
We didn't get the automatic bid. It's my first time never getting an automatic bid. This is an at-large. It's great. It's a different feeling, but it feels like there's something not accomplished.
State will make the short trip south to the Athens, Georgia regional, where they'll open play Friday against UAB. The Pack fell in last year's Knoxville, Tennessee regional, but feel they're better for the experience.
It's nice having people coming back and knowing, okay, this is what's going to happen. This is how it's going to go down. And even though we're going somewhere different, it's kind of the same.
Buoying the efforts this year, junior Emily Wyman. State's ace has a sub-3 ERA to go along with 28 wins and 11 shutouts.
Pitching is pressure, and but that's why I love it. I mean, I'm a pitcher. I'm in this for the long run, and I just I try to stay calm as much as I can.
As indicated by their 34 wins, NC State can pull out victories in a lot of different ways. But there's one statistic where they truly excel: the home run ball. The Wolfpack hit 63 this year, leading the ACC in the process.
It's a slam dunk in basketball. Home runs, the alley-oop here. You can one hit can change a game.
Renata Davis is second in the ACC with 17 long balls, but there are plenty of others who grip it and rip it.
It's been the entire lineup here and there, which is great. And it helps a lot. It boosts not only your offense, but also your pitching staff.
In Raleigh, Ryan Welch, Time Warner Cable News.